Fix the roof while the sun is shining. Your certified financial planner should have copies of your estate planning documents. Got a real life financial planning scenario on why that is so important. I've got that and more coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. That's a phrase that we say around here at KFG and have for a long time. Kevin Korhorn, he's got a knack for coming up with phrases, especially ones that stick and have great meaning. And so, yeah, fix the roof while the sun is shining. When you've got some work that needs to be done, you want to be prepared. You want to be doing that work when the conditions are right, not when it's urgent or when there's a crisis. And therefore, especially when it comes with estate planning, if you don't get things set up and everything clear ahead of time, then all of a sudden a crisis hits or a need hits. And guys, it could even be too late to get things set up. And if it's not too late, then you're lucky, but it would be extremely chaotic and cumbersome to get things set up at the 11th hour. Recently had a client scenario that really just brought this to light, and everything worked out well logistically in a awful situation, but wanted to use it as a helpful example, an illustration to encourage you to ensure that your financial advisor, your certified financial planner, has copies of your estate planning documents, not because they're going to need them at all times, but because they're going to need them if something happens in an urgent way. So here's a scenario. We've been fortunate to serve a couple for, well over a decade now. Very early on, one of my first relationships 20 years ago. And so we've been doing financial planning for these folks. And because of the comprehensive financial planning approach that we take and how different that is from most financial advisors, which is why we have the Wise Money Show, because we want to communicate you need a comprehensive approach to dealing with your finances, because it is still just this rare approach to finances. We often, through that approach, end up working with our clients, but then working with their parents and then with their kids, because the folks that we serve say, I want this for my loved ones. I want their finances set up in this way as well. So this case was no different. And so after a certain period of time, we started working with dad and mom. Started helping them. Now at that stage of life that we began helping them, they were in their mid-80s. In fact, mom was already not in great health. And so we did some financial planning, but it wasn't a comprehensive and ongoing relationship that lasted years and years and years. It was an initial financial planning engagement where we went through and made sure everything was set up correctly and they were on the right path. And then it was more of on maintenance, where we would meet every so often, but not rolling our sleeves up and doing financial planning each and every year. So a couple of months ago, sort of out of the blue, the client reached out, not the folks, the client reached out, and just as if I already knew everything, said, Dad's health has taken a turn for the worse. We are getting him into a nursing home. Can we talk about Dad's finances, because I've got to figure out a way to pay for this? And everything is confidential, guys. So even though this family is very close and Dad would have shared anything with his kids financially, I can't, right? And so there's confidentiality rules. But here's the thing. Obviously, we knew, okay, with Dad's health changing and with this need, he was at a point where he was not able to manage his own financial affairs. That was our understanding. And yet, we needed the legal documentation. And even though we hadn't done financial planning for Dad and for several years, thankfully, our process is to ensure that these folks have an estate plan and that we, as their financial advisors, CFPs, have copies of it. In fact, I ended up going to the attorney's office with mom and dad way back when, over a decade ago, because they never had estate planning documents to begin with, and they were, again, at that age, struggling with getting it all set up. And so I went to the attorney's office with them and made sure that we got the documents all set up. And so, yes, we had a copy of them. And I was able to tell the daughter, okay, here's a copy of the estate plan. It does list you as a power of attorney, but it's a springing power of attorney, which means we need some documentation from the doctors saying that dad is unable to manage his financial affairs. And once we get that documentation, we'll be able to help you and not only communicate about dad's accounts, but get you the resources that you need to pay for the long-term care facilities. And she completely understood that. Within 24 hours, had a doctor's note, and we were able to discuss dad's finances, get them the resources so that they could admit him into the long-term care facility and cover those costs. Now, obviously, that was just an emotionally painful and difficult situation, but it's at those times when there is great stress and great worry and great, just lots of strong emotions, you don't want to have to deal with getting all those documents set up and, oh, we don't have a power of attorney on, set up at all, or maybe you do, but we can't locate it and we never gave it to our financial advisor. So fix the roof while the sun is shining. Get those documents set up and make sure that your certified financial planner has copies of those so that if and when an urgent need arises, they're equipped and able to help you in a very efficient and easy way. Now, to make things even worse, and you probably assume this is where the story would go, but just last week, the client reached out again urgently and said dad had passed away, and more so wanted to let us know, but also with the caveat of, so therefore there's going to be more expenses coming up with the funeral and the end of life celebration. And our hearts go out to folks in this situation, and of course to this family as well, especially a family that we've served all generations for well over a decade now. But part of our process, and again, this fix the roof while the sun is shining, you want to make sure that you've got beneficiaries on all account and that those beneficiaries are the correct ones and they've been updated and that they reflect your wishes. And yes, and for dad's generation, for our generation, most of our savings are in retirement accounts, 401ks, IRAs, Roth IRAs, and they naturally have beneficiaries attached to them. So you've just got to make sure that you list the right people. But for dad's generation, the greatest generation, those in their late 80s or 90s, they didn't have 401ks when they were working, right? And very few of them had IRAs and so on. Most of their dollars, their savings, were in non-retirement accounts. And beneficiaries aren't common. And yet it's part of our standard practice and what I'd recommend for you that you add a transfer on death or TOD to all of those non-retirement accounts so that you attach a beneficiary to them and so that they can flow very easily onto the next generation without probate, without added complication or added effort and time or added cost. Fix the roof while the sun is shining. And this example, while emotionally hard and difficult, paints a picture, is a good illustration for ensuring that the financial professionals in your life are approaching your finances from a comprehensive viewpoint, looking at all 6 areas, and that 6th area being estate planning, and therefore help you get the right documents in place, and they have those on file so they're equipped to help you in your time of need. Work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com, that's Korhorn with a K, wisemoneyshow.com, you can find us there as well, or send us an email, info@korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.